Doctor Who Worlds Apart. You've heard of it. You've seen it. You've seen the ads. You've probably seen it on your Facebook page. And what the heck is it? Well, we got a friend named Tony who's going to be telling you. Plus, a bunch of my favorite friends will be returning here to talk about it, especially Jake Chapman, who's going to be pretty much hosting most of the show since this is his field. It's a gaming thing. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get it started. Ladies and gentlemen, Whovians, stand by. My name's Christian Basil, and welcome to the Legend of the Traveling Tardis. My name is Christian Basil. Years ago, I had an idea. I got myself a TARDIS. Took it to new places, met a lot of new people, took some great pictures, and talked Doctor Who. From Krypton Radio and the creators of the Hanging With web show, this is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Join me on my latest adventures and become part of the legend. And hello, Whovians. My name is Christian Basil, and welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Let me introduce the panel for tonight. For those of you joining us on our Facebook page, on the YouTube channel, on our Twitch channel, which, thank you, Mackenzie. Now I know how to actually store the videos for the shows that we did. I didn't know. It's like, they're not even showing up at Twitch. And she goes, you got to turn it on. I'm like... My name is Christian Basil. Welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Let me go ahead and introduce our panels, and we're going to tell you a little bit about. We're going to introduce our friend Tony Pierce in just a moment, who's going to talk to you more about Doctor Who Worlds Apart. What is it? And Dave, our resident expert on gaming, let me introduce him at the rathole.ca. How you doing there, Dave? Welcome back.
Hello, Christian. I'm doing good. I'm still not in my proper streaming space, so things are a little echoier here. Things in Alberta are still very much locked down, but hopefully not for much longer.
I thought that was a Canada thing, but anyway.
No, it's straight up a massive Alberta lockdown. COVID. One of my team has actually just gotten out of the hospital I think a day and a half ago from being on a ventilator from COVID. So,
good.
Wear your mask, people.
Yeah, wear your mask. I actually have a friend of mine who made an announcement, and I won't give his name or anything just in case, but he unfortunately got the virus. His wife has been practicing to make sure that the dogs and her stay out of the room and stuff like that. It's not the first time I've had a friend get it, but he's really a good friend of the family. So it does, when you hear that somebody does it, you just want to wish them well. They take care of themselves. But this virus is this virus is just a little bit of a different creature. I mean, it's just, just please stay safe out there. Mask up, wash your damn hands, as my friend Brian K. Moore says. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about something because my team is going to be taking over after the show. I'm going to be somewhere else later on, but I'll explain later on. And speaking of later on, favorite segues. Mackenzie, how you doing today?
Segues, Tony.
Author of The Right of Wands. How you doing there?
Well, it's one of those things with the Right of Wands right now. We having COVID, and yes, please, everybody, please take caution. It's getting to the point now on my Facebook where I am literally daily, somebody's either telling me that they have it or they've died. I've lost count of how many people I know who have died from it. So please stay safe.
I know. And especially when we had the if you go to some of our classic episodes, we actually had talked about COVID, headstrong, how it was affecting conventions. And you were one of the first ones to actually, it kind of got into the family. Luckily, it didn't get into the family, but even just the worry, it's not worth taking a chance out there. So just be careful out there. Everybody in our Wizard World team who are joining us there, welcome. And everybody from the Traveling TARDIS on YouTube and Twitch, welcome there. Please stay safe. Speaking of staying safe, Hi, hi, Melanie. How you doing there?
These are the segues, people.
These are the segues. Yep, you get what you pay for. How's it going,
doing
We have
well.
sponsors. Don't say that.
Doing well. Staying safe. I'm making sure I follow my little COVID protocols, and I'm using this as the gift of time that I didn't think about having before. So now that I only go shopping maybe once, twice a week, I have more time to paint. I have more time to do things. I have more time to get stuff done around the house. And even more importantly, I have time to relax and find ways of entertaining myself. Otherwise, I go stir crazy. So this particular episode, I'm actually kind of very, very keen in on because, hey, it's something else I could become a time vampire and I can enjoy. So I want to learn all about this game.
That's a segue.
That is a segue. Speaking of that, want to introduce our new good friend here, Tony Pierce. Again, if you've been on the Facebook page, you're a Whovian, you've probably seen the ads, you've probably seen the articles, you've probably seen the, and just like, okay, what the heck is this? So I pulled Tony in to explain a little bit about Doctor Who Worlds Apart. So Tony, tell us a little bit about yourself. And I got to know, where did that title come from? Welcome to the show, Tony.
Hello. I love you guys. Yeah.
Love you too, Tony.
Pleasure to be here. Listen, I'm from Plague Island right now. I'm in the UK, right? So, we are probably locked in. So I hear your pain on COVID. And yeah, stay safe and be careful out there. It's not good. But thank you for letting me join. It's just coming close to 11 p.m. here, so
I'm sorry.
With my wine and
evening nightcap.
So so where did the name come from? It actually came from my friend at the BBC. When we went to the BBC, which was well over a year ago, to present the idea of creating a trading card game that used tokenized blockchain NFTs, which I'll come on to in a second. We were sitting there and going through some names, and he went, I think Worlds Apart would be a fantastic name for a trading game. And it was like, no, we got so many better ones here. I don't want the BBC coming up with the name. It's our job. We're the games company.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it all came back around, and we went, you know what? That's a really cool name, and it happened over a meeting, and so I acknowledge it to the BBC who actually came up with that.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
so it's still kind of it's child prodigy, Doctor Who, and they came up with the name Worlds Apart there. Now, yeah. Tony, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been a Whovian? What started everything? Who's your doctor? What did they do?
Being from the UK, I remember watching Doctor Who when I was probably this high, and I still visually remember being in my mum and dad's living room. I'm pretty sure it was a black and white TV, or I just remember it being, and I just remember the Tardis flying around and that sound, and the whole family being around the telly. It was one of those things where I grew up to that noise of Doctor Who, to that sound on a Saturday night. It was the program everyone wanted to watch, and it's I'm, believe it or not, I'm 54, right?
Well, no.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you don't look that no.
And it's so great to have a game now, with it. When I remember how massive Doctor Who was for me, as a kid, to now actually be working with the BBC on a Doctor Who game, to me is just amazing. So it's super cool.
Gotcha. Now, I for those of you just joining us, welcome. Of course, we are part of the live chat on our StreamYard. So if you're over there at Wizard World, if you're over at the Traveling Tardis on the YouTube channel, on Twitch, you are more than welcome to type in. And if you have any questions for Tony or the Traveling Tardis team, by all means, hello, everybody who has just joined us. Hello, Graham. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Willow from Pillow Talk, definitely. And Terry McIver says, stay home when you can, wear your mask if you're out at shops. We're not doing too well over here on the island of Ireland either. Stay safe, Tony. Oh my goodness. Okay. I can't talk because Florida goes, what what
the United States wishes we were an island. They wish that we could just push us off and we would be good to go.
Who was the last one? That said hello, Doctor Who. Okay, well, hello there, Doctor Who. Nice there. And if you want to be part of the chat, by all means, just type it on in here. And if we like what we see, we're going to put you on there. Any questions for Tony about Worlds Apart? Now, one of the questions, and I know, Dave, you've got a whole thing going there, but I want to ask this question to start things off over there, because you said trading cards. And in this day and age, probably not a great idea to have trading cards. So how does Worlds Apart work as opposed to just regular trading cards? How does that all work there? Or Dave, did I just steal your thunder? I'm sorry.
That was still that's still the starting point. So besides the fact that we have all of the doctors watching the show through YouTube, apparently.
Holy cow,
yeah, Tony, yeah. So, Tony, please tell us, what is this whole electronic?
Wait a minute, before we start, for our friends in the audios, yeah, we actually have people on our YouTube channel, 11th Doctor, 5th Doctor, 2nd Doctor. We actually have the doctors coming on. So, doctors, all of you, wonderful chaps. Thank you for joining us out there. Now, go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry there. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead and finish up there.
Yeah, well, let me give you some background into what makes this so special. So, personally, I've been in the games industry for now 25 years. So I started back in Sega Mega Drive and Nintendo, and then PlayStation 1, and then mobile gaming, and then Facebook gaming, and I've kind of seen different platforms come and go. And when I entered mobile gaming, everyone laughed and said, "You're never going to play games on a phone; it's way too small." And then that took off, and then Facebook and social gaming happened, and everyone said no one's going to play that, and that took off. And I've kind of been at the forefront, looking at new I suppose gaming platforms, and always going, I really believe in this one. And the one that I think is quite incredible is what's happening now, and that is blockchain gaming. And before I see everyone's eyes glaze over and go, oh my God, what does that mean? Let me give you an example. So the way the games industry works right now is most games, especially mobile, are free to play. Right? And when you download that game, they're free. But the way that the games company makes money is the user buys in-app purchases. And if you take Fortnite as an example, people come on, play that game, and spend thousands of dollars on buying items to use in that game. Now,
Mackenzie's pointing.
Literally, but the thing is, you actually, when you buy those items, you don't own anything, right? When you buy a hat for your avatar in Fortnite, or a sword or a gun in another game, you've got a license to use that in that game. You don't actually own it at all, but you've paid for it. So why don't you own it? Why, when I buy a sword, why can't I take that sword out of that game and use it in another game? I bought it, I own it, right? Why can't I take it out the game when I'm finished with it and sell it to my friend? Right? The way games have worked in the past is they don't allow you to do that. They lock you in the game. So here, can you imagine if you spend thousands of dollars on a game, and the games company goes bust, you lose everything. It's unfair, but that's the way the games industry has worked. What blockchain does is it tokenizes those in-game items that you buy, and when you buy them, it logs them on your account and into a wallet which you own, and therefore when you buy it from us, you own that item forever. So what you can either use it in our game, you can withdraw it from the game and sell it on a trading platform to one of your friends, or just sell it when you're finished with it, or you can use it in another game when we give permission for you to use it in another game. So finally you have something that you actually own. And that's what the blockchain does. It's an independent database. It's a decentralized database that logs that item for you, and it's not owned by anyone. It's an independent database. So we are, as a games company, we are creators of games that tokenize in-game items. And one of the ideas was to come up with a game with the BBC, i.e. Doctor Who, and a trading card game where each card was tokenized, what we call it, with a smart contract, and logged on the blockchain, which makes that card unique. Right? It's one of a kind. I can never copy the same card again, because it's like you've got a unique painting. It has a serial number on it. It cannot be copied. The blockchain doesn't allow it to be forged. So the whole idea with this trading card game is not only is it a fun game, I mean, it will be up there with Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone, but the cards that you buy from us, you own forever. So even if you don't want to play the game, they could be a collector's item. You know, if you have a really rare card from our game with a really rare frame and it's serial number 001 out of perhaps 100, that could be worth a lot of money in the future. You know, it's one of a kind. Now, I can also use it in the game, right? So you can do that, but I also own it. I can keep it and I can show it off. It's a collectible. And that's what makes this game different. You own part of the game. You are part of it.
Okay. Well, the funny part about it is when you were discussing things that you buy and you can't keep, the first thing I remember is when Farmville came out. That game, and I was hearing like people buying, like spending like $10 to buy pigs. I was just like, what?
Strawberries.
But you get to keep, you know, they're trading cards. You get to keep them. You get to enjoy them. So it's not like they're virtual. They're virtual, but you get to still keep them, you know, even after everything is said and done there. So that's a cool thing. Speaking of cool things, I told you, lousy segue in the world. We've got commercial break. When we return, we're going to get to do our talk with Tony and talking about Doctor Who's Worlds Apart. When we return, thank you for continuing to stay logged on, tune in, and become part of the legend. And I got to get that banner off. There we go. now we can start.
Bateman.
What's the Bateman?
A novel set in Florida, written by Florida author D.L. Havlin. Suspense, mystery, and murder.
Evidence is in the bait.
The Bateman is available at local bookstores and online.
Deborah Parmley's Jenna's Christmas Wish.
Santa, if there's one thing I want for Christmas more than anything, it's someone to spend Christmas with. Someone who really wants me to be there.
Head to the mountains of East Tennessee with romance author Jenna Hart for a Christmas writer's workshop. Since her mother passed after a long illness, Jenna has had one wish. She doesn't want to spend Christmas alone. Meeting Niccolo Maldini, cover model and actor, could make more than Jenna's Christmas wish come true. Unless Ember, Niccolo's ex-girlfriend, does something crazy to stop them from being together. It's a mountain Christmas romance you won't want to miss in Deborah Parmley's Jenna's Christmas Wish. Now on Amazon.com. Jackie Sonnenberg's My Soul to Keep is a ghost story rooted in the realities of actual cults. When 13-year-old Sky Monroe arrives at her new boarding school, all she can think about is death and connecting with the afterlife. Soon she discovers her school's spirituality group, the Guardians of Light, and they have a secret. They can speak with the dead, and the organization is a cult. But this isn't Sky's only problem. The campus house where Sky resides is haunted, and even the ghosts have an agenda. They intend on getting the souls they want. Filled with mystery and intrigue plucked straight from the headlines, author Jackie Sonnenberg's research and attention to detail give this ghost story an even more eerie atmosphere. Find My Soul to Keep on Amazon.com today.
Legend of the Tardis is powered by Geek Insider. If you're watching this on all of our platforms, YouTube, Facebook, on the Wizard World chat site, if you're watching this on Twitch, don't thank us, thank our friends at Geek Insider. Don't forget to subscribe at geekinsider.com, and don't forget to tell them Legend of the Traveling TARDIS sent you.
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.
For those of you just joining us, welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil. We're here with our special guest, Tony Pierce of Doctor Who Worlds Apart. And Tony's got more information about the gaming. But you know what? I'm going to turn it over to Dave because he's our gaming guru, man. So Dave, take it up. Chat with
Thank you, Christian.
With Tony. By all means, check it out. Cindy Cap says, "Is the game a solo play, or do you need to connect with other players online?" So let's start with that question.
Let's start with that. Yeah.
Then we'll let Dave start talking.
You need to connect. It's an online game.
Perfect. Quick answer, easy answer.
Easy peasy.
Multiplayer game. So just to back up just a little bit with the blockchain technology, this is the same when people are looking at like cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin. That's what we're talking about here as well, right? Same basic technology.
Yeah, people, cryptocurrency and blockchain are two very different things. They just happen to work together. Okay, so the blockchain is a decentralized database that stores information and cannot be hacked. It just happens that everyone puts bitcoins and cryptocurrency together with that because that's where cryptocurrency is stored and logged, so it proves that you're the owner. But a bitcoin is a bit of code, right? And it's just a picture of a coin, but behind it is code. We're exactly the same. We're a picture of a card, but behind it is code. It's a tokenized item. So each card that you see is actually a token. It could be a picture of a Bitcoin, but it's not. It's a picture of a Doctor Who card. It's a unique coded image of a card. And we decide what goes on that code.
Oh, look at that.
Example of a card.
Well, yeah, for our friends who are listening, we are putting up a card, one of the cards, Captain Jack Harkness. Now, what does the card represent? I see a number 3, companion human. Rapidly must always block. When destroyed, this returns to your Tardis and costs 1 more. So tell us a little bit about this particular.
Each card has different health, different abilities, different gameplay. So it's just imagine, going back to any trading card, even back to top trumps, and my Lamborghini is going to outdo your Mini. This is why it's faster. It's got bigger engine, all this kind of stuff. It's exactly the same with this. It comes with its own metadata, its own health, and its own abilities. But each of the images, in fact, the image that you see in that, every image that comes with a card is hand drawn. So we wanted to make the cards really unique and collectibles. So we didn't go to the BBC and go, can we just have a few hundred images of your back catalogue and stick them in a card? Yeah. We actually got artists to draw these pictures and therefore give it its uniqueness.
That's awesome.
Yeah, every single bit of art had to go through so much approval, because what's quite fascinating, or what's from a games company's point of view, what's difficult and I suppose time consuming is Doctor Who, goes back, what's it now, 60 odd years.
Yeah.
Many different rights owners that come with different episodes. The talent has its own rights. The Daleks has its own rights. The sound has its own rights. So when you're going back through so many fantastic characters, and you're redrawing them, the approval process, as it should be, by the way, because this is what makes Doctor Who so fantastic, is extremely strict. It has to go through different departments. Now, this is not something where we just draw something and stick it on a card. It goes back through every division of the BBC that particular image goes with. The Daleks would go somewhere different than an actor would, for instance. And right. So it's quite amazing. Anyway, so we actually, in the initial set that's out now, there are 200 hand-drawn pictures that go inside the cards, and there are 15 card frames. And what you're looking at there, that particular frame is a limited edition frame, which if you get this with a low serial number, that frame depicts the rarity. And if you're into trading and perhaps want to show off and even make money on this, if you get something like this that is rare, then through the trading markets could be people will want it. The actual numbers you see inside it and the image and the description is about the gameplay, nothing to do with the rarity. So they're two kind of different things. I mean, if you're
sort of exception being a little icon in the dead center. That's indicates rarity overall, does it not?
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Diamond.
Yes. So if you get a legend, there's 4 different symbols in the middle. If you get a legendary symbol and a Tardis frame and it's serial number 001, happy days. There's not many of those around, right? Now you could get one of those in a $5 pack, right? So the way that the way that this works is just like with any trading card game, the physical card game, where you go into a store, you buy a pack and you don't know what's in it, and you open it up and you go, damn, I haven't got the card I want, and you go back in and buy another one. It's the same principle, but they're digital, but you own them because they're logged on the blockchain into your account. So it's not like, oh, I've just wasted that and anyone can get these. They are physically yours. So if you do happen to get a really cool card, then keep it. You don't have to sell it. In fact, yes. Oh, wow. So here you see the way that it's set up. So the characters. In fact, I'll tell you what might be easier if I share my screen and I can go through it.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. How about that? Let's have a look here. So let's go into is the application window, Chrome tab? I can't remember.
Probably Chrome tab. Yeah.
Chrome tab. Sorry. Might be a little easier.
We have all, and if you want to continue on chatting with us, by all means, but we seem to have being a lot of doctors in the chat. Yeah. A lot of doctors in the chat. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so can we see that? Okay. So this is live now. So just come to it. That's the URL, .2-worlds apart. So the way that this works is there's 3 releases this year. There's one that happens right now, which is where we are selling these limited edition exclusive cards right now, right? Then in about 2 months time, roughly, we open the trading platform where you can trade you trade the cards and you can build your decks, right? And then alpha beta comes out in about 4 months. Game is due out in the summer. Then you can start to play it. So there's different things you can do along the way to start creating your decks. And as I say, people are coming in early to buy these because they are limited edition and could be worth something in terms of trading. So when you land on the website, what we're doing now is allowing you to see the packs and buy the packs. So we've got a whole selection right now, and these start from Revolution of the Daleks. Now I'm actually signed in right now, and I have what's called a founder's token, which have now sold out. The next one's come live in I think it's 3 or 4 months. But the founder's token, if you're lucky enough to have got one, gives you a 20% discount. So you might see different prices to what I see, just to let you know. But if you haven't got a discount, then this will be $2.99. So the cheapest pack you can get is $2.99, and that comes with a selection of cards, which if I show you here, if you click on it, you go down here and it will tell you what's in that pack. So you will get 5 guaranteed standard frames. You won't.
Is it open worldwide or just US?
Yeah, it's worldwide. Yeah.
Okay.
So this kind of entry pack, you're going to get 5 frames. They're standard, but you might be lucky and get some ones that have good low serial number or have decent gameplay stats like good health or metadata. You'll see what the images are. And this is just from the TV program that came out, certainly in the UK a few weeks ago. Not sure in the States if it came out, but
I've seen it out in the States. Okay. Just from a lot of Facebook, I think on Twitter, maybe. I think I've seen this out there. Yeah. And I just want to express something. First of all, we'll put your chats up in a little bit, but all the doctors who joined us, we thoroughly enjoy that you're here. But just keep in mind, we're going to put our favorite chats up. So if you guys are talking to each other, that's fine. You're more than welcome to. Hey, and don't forget to like and subscribe. So anybody who's on the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, you're more than welcome. But we welcome everybody, and that includes. Oh wow, yeah, yes, 13. Those you. That includes the Daleks and the Cybermen. And I think we had a really good question. I think Terry.
Oh, here's one.
Oh, okay. When will this be out? Of course, Victor. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. Yeah, Tony, when does it come out? I know in a month or 2, or?
Well, you can buy these packs now.
Okay.
The trading platform comes out in a couple of months. The game in beta format, so it will be released for early adopters and founder token holders in roughly 4 months. It's being tested. It's there now, but the release schedule takes it to really the summer. I think is the official release date.
Gotcha. And you can check it out at Doctor Who's one word - Worlds Apart.
Where you can buy these packs. Yes. So as I say, we're selling the tokenized limited edition packs now. So if you wanted to go for, let's say, the exclusive pack, if you click that, you're going to get 7 cards in this pack. It's a bit more expensive, but you are going to get 7 alien frames and 2 guaranteed TARDIS frames. So here, the alien frames are the ones that have the pictures around it, like the Weeping Angel or the TARDIS. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the percentage chance of getting those in the pack.
Oh, so, nice.
It's 5% chance that you're going to get one of these, and you might be lucky in a cheaper pack where it's a less percentage, but you still could get it. So it's just, as I say, just like going in and buying.
It's just like any other pack, any type of pack of cards where, because that's one thing I like when I do trading cards and whatnot. I know that there's certain cards you have a percentage of that chance. So
exactly. And I have no idea what's in them. It's an algorithm that gives it that. And there are only a certain amount of these available. And once they're sold out, that's it. They would never be available again. Mm-hmm. This has just come out, the Clones of Meta Force. This is $39.99. And this comes with 50% chance of getting the Zygon frame, which is a pretty cool frame, and 50%.
Yeah.
You know you're going to get those two. You just don't know what the image is inside. So you basically buy the packs, and then down here we give you some idea of the fact that each frame and character is a limited edition series. Only a finite number of frames and characters will ever be created, and that's it. So we have a set amount, and once they're gone, we will never sell them again. The only place you can get them is to trade them off other players, and it's up to the market that decides how much you want to pay for them. If someone wants to sell them for 5 cents, they can. If someone wants, if they're popular and wants to sell them for $1,000, they can. We don't depict the price. That's the market, and that's what makes this game so fascinating, because you can do it with physical cards. You've never been able to do that with digital because you could copy them. The fact that they're tokenized and logged on the blockchain with an individual serial number makes them unhackable. You get a certificate. So when you buy these packs, we email you a certificate of each card with the proof of the serial number and the time that it was bought and what's on it. So it is like buying a limited edition piece of art.
Oh.
And then one thing we try to stay clear of is we when you mention blockchain and you mention tokenization and all this, it does people sometimes just go, Bitcoins, don't want to hear about it. Actually, it's got nothing to do with that. It is all about proving that it's rare. So this is one section where we explain the fact that you in this game you have complete ownership over your in-game items, right? The cards are rare. Get them before they sell out. You can build your deck and you can trade them in the marketplace. So we give some information. We talk there about each card that you collect will be tokenized into a non-fungible token, which is an NFT, which is basically the technical term of tokenizing something that is irreplaceable, that only one of a kind. It's called an NFT in the industry. And then we give a little bit of a game preview here. So I'll quickly show you this actually. So this is a very, very early alpha. So it gives you some idea of how it works. So
actually, can you pause that for just a moment?
Yeah.
Tony?
14 seconds.
Because we're going to throw this over to the break. When we return, we're going to continue our discussion with Tony Pierce from Doctor Who Worlds Apart, and we're going to get this great demonstration. Yes. And I just want to let all the doctors know you are all welcome here. And they all subscribed, and I'm like, thank you for coming there. I do want to get to Terry MacGyver's question. He had an interesting question when we return, but we'll go to the demonstration, give Terry, and then if Dave has any more questions, we'll hit that when we return. Please continue to stay logged on, tune in, and become part of the legend.
Experience Samara's adventure as she imagines the people around her change into friendly cartoon animals right before her eyes. Journey with her in this poetic tale, My Cartoon Imagination at School.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Koepp at CKOEPP.com today.
Alien invaders enslave Earth.
Unleashing hunters into the ruined wastes.
One young survivor struggles to elude their monsters, clinging to hope.
When he's stolen off the planet by a sarcastic starship AI, they pit their uneasy alliance against a treacherous galaxy.
Explore a whole new verse of barbarism and betrayal.
Wonder and adventure.
In the Scion series
by Michael J. Allen.
Beginning with Book 1, Scion Conquered Earth.
Available in print, ebook, and audio on Amazon.com.
This is the Legend of the Traveling Tardis. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend. And speaking of subscribing, join us very shortly. And you can, after the show, you can check us out and continue the adventures at the legendofthetravelingtardis.com, our website. We also now... We don't have to put out that threadless thing because we actually have a place where you can click to get Doctor Who Traveling TARDIS merchandise, including masks, as we've mentioned, t-shirts, like the one we got here. We've got mugs, we've got skateboards, we've got everything you could practically find. If you want to get your own little bling with Traveling TARDIS stuff on there, go to thelegendofthetravelingtardis.com. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel, you just want to give for the channel, besides buying merchandise, you can check us out at paypal.me/thetravelingtardis if you just want to hit us up with our tip jar, just to make sure that we keep our programming going. So all the proceeds that go to this will go in some form or fashion to making sure that we continue and improve our show. My name is Christian Basil. Welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Welcome, Whovians. We are with our special guest, Tony Pierce, and he has got something for us to show us, and then I definitely want to hit Terry's question because that was a cool question.
Yeah, let's hit Terry's question first. Tony, you're gonna have to reshare your screen again. But Terry had that great question there. How long did it take to put this game together, and how has it evolved from when the original idea kind of took shape?
So we came up with the idea almost 18 months, 2 years ago. We approached the BBC about that time, call it 15 months ago. They were very intrigued. They loved the idea of a trading card game with Doctor Who for sure, because of the in-depth of characters. They were very intrigued by the blockchain part. And it's the first time they've ever done a game where their in-game items have been tokenized and you become the owner. So that was something that they wanted to get into. And they felt that Doctor Who and the fans were, like the kind of technology behind that. Yes. And it's something that they were keen to do. And so really it's taken 15 months to get to this. As I mentioned earlier, the approvals process is extremely tight. But while we're doing the cards, while we're getting those approved, the game designers and the game developers are working in the background. So, it will be a 2-year project by the time this comes out. So it's certainly, we've been living it a while.
Was this something where you were really you were building this specifically for Doctor Who, or was it something where, like, in the back of the mind, you're like, if we don't get licensing, what do we do?
Well, so we have the business itself has built a platform that can tokenize anything, right? So I can go to a toy company and go, I can tokenize your Barbie dolls and literally make those into a digital asset, and you can trade. People can trade those. It can tokenize Tonka cars. I can do. Yeah. I can
Hasbro, listen to this man.
Yeah. But we are specifically a games business, and we were looking at what's the best, I suppose, type of games that people would like to collect things in, trade, and also use them. And trading cards clearly is one of those that ticks all those boxes. And then it was like, okay, what's a really, really cool brand that has a great fan base that would love to see all these old characters digitized and back into use again. And Doctor Who was kind of the first idea.
Oh, that's awesome, because especially I love the thing about it being digital. I'll admit, at first when I found out that it wasn't had any type of physical, I was like, well, how is this going to work? I don't really understand the whole thing. But I loved how you brought in how the new technology, because you got stuff like platforms like Eye of Judgment on PlayStation. I love that game, but there's no one who plays it. So once you had the cards, it was useless because there was no one to play with. So I love this.
Yeah. So not only, I mean, I'll show you some examples of the cards in a second, that how they work in 3D. But I always imagine, I always had a vision that these cards, you know, when you watched Harry Potter and they look at the newspaper and things are moving around and there's sounds and characters.
Yes.
We want the cards to be alive, right? At the moment, you're seeing hand-drawn pictures, which are beautiful and they're beautifully done. But as this game grows, we're going to have cards that come alive, right? They will have sound effects from the character that you're looking at. You'll click on a part and it will it will show the bit that is used from the TV series. It will play a quick trailer inside the card. They will be completely interactive, right? They will be. It's bringing it to life. At the moment, they're beautiful images, but there's a roadmap of really great stuff that we can start to bring into it.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that the doctors are getting excited. Oh, I'm sorry. I was about to say, I think all the doctors who are on here chatting with us, they probably want to see what their cards do. They're probably already excited. Like, okay, I need to see what my
take a look at some of the
does.
gameplay.
Yes. Yeah, well, let me carry on.
Go
ahead,
Tony.
And I'll come on to I'll come on to
Your screen dropped out of the feed, so we'll have to just reshare that, Tony.
How are we doing now? Can you see that?
Beautiful.
Bring it in.
Okay, so here's a very early. So this is an early vision of the Dalek board. Now we've got many different boards that you play this game on. So there's one of the cards. There's the Daleks here. They'll all be kind of it'll be in complete 3D, so you can move the board around. You have a night and a day vision. There'll be sound effects coming out of it. It'll be really an interactive, fun board that you start playing your cards on. So this is how kind of very early on, super alpha, but you'll get an idea how one player is playing the other. So that particular card, so it depends what decks you got and how you're playing it. So it's it's a true cool card game, right? So let me just
for our friends who are listening to us on the audio podcast, sorry, you're missing out. That's all I can say.
Gonna have to jump over to YouTube.
Yeah.
How many cards are there in the deck? So when someone's building their deck, and when it gets to that trading portion, how many cards are actually in there for someone like me who wants to build but has no idea how many cards are part of it?
Yes. So this is a free-to-play game, and one of the questions that people are going, well, why are we paying for cards? Is this a pay to win? It's not. The cards that we're selling now are limited edition, tradable NFT blockchain cards. When the game comes out, we give you 40 cards for free. Right, you can play off. You don't have to pay anything. It's a free-to-play game. It's just that if you want these really cool limited edition cards, you have to get them from the marketplace. Right, so that's how it works. So it is, and how. So let me give you an example of. I've just bought a few packs. So if I go up to my account here, I've got 7 here, which shows that I've got 7 packs that I've purchased, and I've got in this particular demo. I've got a mixture of all of those cards. So that's just it's searching for the packs that I've just bought, and it'll load those in 1 second.
I know.
Well, it's loading. The prices that's a US dollar price that we've been looking at, correct?
Yeah.
On all
I did have a question about Australia, and I'm like, I don't know what it translates to. Sorry.
It's in US dollars, so we can all math it from our own countries.
There you go.
That's right. Yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
So here is where I've got my packs here. So I've got one pack. These are the packs that I bought. Okay. Now I need to drag the packs into the vortex to open them. I have no idea what cards are in these packs. It's randomly selected. So I get my mouse and I drag it over and I put it into the vortex and it opens. And there's the cards that come with it. So I'm looking at the frames. And then I can go, this is really cool. I can go over the frame and then I turn it around and I see what's in it. Ooh. So that's a really cool card with that particular frame. And there's the cards that I have for that. And those cards now will go into my account and will go to the Ethereum blockchain. If anyone's into this, that's the blockchain we use, and will be tokenized. And you will then get a certificate proving that you own these. And that's why it's so cool. So I can go to another one. This is the Tardis pack, which is quite cool. So this is going to give me the Tardis cards and the gold diamond cards. So you see up here the Tardis ones. So these, let me see what I've got here. That's pretty cool.
I might not play a game. I might just watch this all day.
I know, right?
Yeah, because they are literally, you get people that are on our Discord channel showing these off. Going, I've got the, the Dalek and the Tardis card serial number 1 with this image in it, and all of these are the top numbers for the game. I mean, already they're being offered thousands of dollars for them. I mean, it's quite incredible.
Wow.
So once I've opened my packs, that's how you do it. I then go to my collection. And I can see all of the packs that I've opened and all of the cards that I've got. And then I can start to arrange them. So I've actually got 73 cards. There's another 5 packs that I need to open. Mm-hmm. And these are the packs that I've currently got. And I can look through them and I can stop at them and hover over and click on them at any time. And then here I can spin them around because they're in full 3D. And it will tell me here that this is a silver frame, asset number 66, serial number 1. So I have the first one ever of this particular frame, which is really cool. So I can look at each of these cards and I can put them into rarity. So if I've got a lot, legendary is the really hard frame to get. So if I click on that, I have 2 of the legendary is the emblem in the middle. So I have 2 legendary cards in these particular frames, and this frame's quite rare, so that's pretty cool. So I can start filtering them around, and then when the trading platform starts, we have a deck builder that you download, and you now create your decks of up to 40 cards. So you can then see which ones you want, which one you're missing, because obviously if you bought a pack, it's randomly selected. You might not know if you're going to get it or not, and you can go and find that one in the marketplace. So that's how people start to build their decks.
We got about to go with commercial break. First of all, if I'm reading this right, I want to thank Doctor Who in the YouTube channel. I think we got a $2 snap what they call it, super chat.
Yeah. Well, you see, the 11th Doctor found a coin, and if you're familiar with the currency across the pound, that's in coin shape. So they were gracious enough to donate that to the show. So thank you so very much.
Thank you. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. So thank you so much for the $2 Snapchat. I appreciate that. We all do. Where were we? Oh yes. What else did you want to say, Tony? Because we're hitting a commercial break.
We'll go to the break. So I was going to take you through the game and how you use them.
Gotcha. Well, when we return, we're going to go to our final segment with Tony, and we're going to be wrapping up our discussion about Doctor Who Worlds Apart.
When we have 2 questions on deck from our comments.
Gotcha. We'll get to the comment. We'll get through these commercials then. See you guys. We'll be right back after the commercial.
Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
Meet the Doctor.
I'm the Doctor.
But not the one you were expecting.
All right, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity. Streaming now.
If anything you must understand, it is this. If I do not find a cure, my life is forfeit.
Myrta McKinnon, rise. It is your time to participate in the Rite of Wands, in which your soul shall face the ultimate analysis. Do you accede?
Yes. This can't be the way things end.
Heed my advice, young warlock. The future you saw is only a possibility. You will be given the ability to change it.
How?
I suggest you start by studying your father's potion books.
Lachlan the Shreya has come to my Verna. I must focus solely on my work. I am afraid. I do not want to fail.
And The Right of Wands by me, Mackenzie Ford, can be purchased at Amazon.com.
That was it. I was expecting a lot more.
There was like a big banner in front of me, so I'm just going to make it real short, sweet, to the point.
No, I love you. I love you, Mackenzie. The commercial just a little bit enthralled me, but well, that's it. We want to thank our friends over at Wizard World. If you're joining us over from our Wizard World, or if you're on the Legend of the Traveling Tardis on the Facebook page and the YouTube channel, you can also catch us and watch us on Wizard World, facebook.com, Wizard World. Don't forget, if you want to get their merchandise, wizardworldvault.com. And again, if you want to help out with Tony and check out his stuff, Doctor Who hyphen, no, it's not hyphen, what am I saying? Doctor Who, that thingy in the middle, worldsapart.com there. And if you want to, again, we want to thank Doctor Who for giving us a $2 pound. But if you want to help us out also, you can check out our paypal.me/the Traveling Tardis there. Christian Basil, welcome back. We're wrapping up our discussion with Tony. And Tony, go ahead, and you there was something you wanted to bring up.
Yeah, let me just wrap up the demo, because I think this is where it's quite interesting. Let me just get back onto this. So this is more information about the actual game. So you've seen how now you get the cards. They're randomly selected. You can either get a super card, or you go back and you start to build your decks and filter. When it comes to the game, these are the character types, that the different subsections and information about what that character type will do in the game. So right from creature, companion, upgrade, moments, planets, phenomenons, objects, and flash. And it gives you a little synopsis about all the different, what an object would do and all the different cards within that. But here's what's interesting. Here's the card anatomy. So when you get it, this is obviously the picture. These are all hand drawn. This is the Artron cost. The rarity is that in the middle, the card's ability, the health, the attack power, the card type and race, the creature life form, and the name. So there's a lot of information around a card. And like I say, the thing that makes it the rare, the tradable bit is just the frame. Everything else is about the gameplay. But what's this? Oh, actually, this is the board. We've got night mode coming up. We've got a day mode. They're full 3D. You can spin them around. The Daleks will be moving. They're really, really fun boards. You can read about more the different features, the player versus player battles, the gameplay, and build a deck, which just go to the website. It's on there. But these are the different card levels. So these are the standard cards. And this is where it gets kind of cool with the blockchain, is we can track every time a card's been played and how many matches it's been played, how many wins, the win rate, and the estimated value of that card in the trading platform. It would you can, so when you go to buy a card, you can see its history. You can see when it was first bought, how many owners it's had.
Oh, wow.
The number of attacks it's been used, the creatures it's blocked, the abilities it's used. And this is because it's in a smart contract and everything is logged every time you play it. So that's what's fascinating about blockchain games, because it will follow that particular item for life across the history, which you can look into, which is fantastic.
That's great, because you never get to see those types of analytics compared to a card. It's always word of mouth when you're thinking, you want to have this one because it's a strong one for the game. You never you just hear that. Here you actually have, data driven going, no, this is the card you want.
Yeah, exactly that. And the data gives you its value. I suppose, if you might get a really lucky, super cool winning card that you just want. So yeah, so that's another great thing about the game. And then just finally, in terms of the cards, if you go into the library, you can actually see you have this upper these are the rarities that go in the middle. So if you get this one with a TARDIS card, serial number 1, Happy Days. The core frames are here. The alien frames, we go through the different types of alien frames we've got, and then you can filter by the different modes, but you can just go down, and here are all the 200 characters and 200 cards all listed out for you, so you can see what there is in terms of all the images. So they are all there for you to look at.
I like the fact that Ramana and River Song are together. That was a very good combination.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned with the frames, there's different levels of frame.
Yeah.
Each individual card can level up. Is that right? From what I was reading?
Yes, that's right. Yes. And you get more XP as well, the more you win. You can't change the frame. The frame is the frame. The stats inside you can change.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And that's something you can't do with a physical card game. Obviously, you've got a card, it is what it is forever. But with this, it can grow, and as you're tracking all of that.
Yeah. It's taking the combination of physical, because you actually own it, but moving it into digital and making it come alive. You know what this card's done, and it grows with you.
Yeah. Are those serial numbers, are those assigned randomly, like within the pack behind the scenes, or is it sequential as you open your pack? Last person got number 1, you've got number 2.
It's sequential, but the randomness of that card, we don't know when it's going to appear.
Right.
Okay.
And actually, it's quite funny because quite often people think, oh, they want serial number 1. But what we're seeing with the community of this game is they want a particular number to do with a particular program. It's got nothing to do with whether it's serial 1. Like they want 1963 because that was the year that Doctor Who came out. They want that serial number. So actually, it's kind of it's a different way what the fans are thinking about it, not as in let's get the low number, let's get something that's really cool that people will recognize.
Well, I would think they would want a particular doctor or a particular companion or a particular monster. So it's not necessarily that the value is of being in an early state. It could be a value of something that they truly want for themselves, that they can geek out about there. Melanie, can you bring up Dr. Jedi 5? Because it's a continuation question there. I think it's third from the bottom. Or can I pull that for you?
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Jedi 5, she he says, sorry if I'm late to the party. Will there be decks for sale? We mentioned that it's going to be in a couple of months there. Or will I have to buy enough packs to build my own deck to start playing?
So the only way you can get the cards now is to buy the packs. In 2 months' time, the trading platform opens and you can buy individual cards from other players. And that just builds your deck. You can't. We're not allowing you to buy a whole deck at the moment. You buy a card to start building a deck.
Gotcha.
When the game's live, you'll be able to get some of those decks worth of those cards out of the box without
Yeah.
Well, we are unfortunately we are at the end of the audio version of our show, folks. Thank you for joining us here. We are going to be having the after party. Tony, do you want to stick around? Do you mind sticking around for just a little bit longer, just in case we have more questions and such? I want to welcome all the doctors, every single one of them, and everybody, including everybody who's joined us there. Welcome. Thank you so much out there. If you if you want to, we are down. Well, no, I'm sorry, we are up. Gosh, yes. Thank you, James Enstall, who does It's All Geek to Me radio. Check him out there, and he's one of our co-hosts. But yes, the audio version of the recording is going to come to an end right now. And if you want to stick around, if you have any further questions for Tony or myself or everybody here at the Traveling TARDIS, thank you again for joining us. Again, thelegendofthetravelingtardis.com. We will put our tip jar very shortly over there. If you want to buy the merchandise, check it out. I'll have the pictures up here next time. Thank you all for joining us. And again, as everybody around the world, please stay safe, stay vigilant, stay smart, wash your damn hands, as my good friend Brian K. Moore says. Speaking of which, if you want to join me after at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour after from now, I will be on the Rising Tide Publications with Brian K. Morris, and you can join me there. Rising Tide Publications. You can go to his personal site, and he will be interviewing me, and we're going to be talking about the Legend of the Traveling Tardis. So from all of us here, what's that?
Catchy title pending.
Yes, clever title pending. I call it Cleaver title pending. So again, thank you all for joining us. Have a great day. Stay afterwards for the after party and continue to become part of the legend. And wow, we had a lot of doctors show up.
That's a new one.
I was keeping it as much as I could. I was just like, I was really wanting to laugh and do more, but I'm just like, nope, I got to keep a straight face.
Let me get to those two questions because I know it is now midnight for somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
The wine and the libations are already probably run dry. But we had two questions. One, Chris Applegate asked if there are going to be field bonuses and such.
So in terms of the gameplay, there's many different XP bonuses, field bonuses. There's tons. I think the best thing to do on which style they are is just join our Discord channel, and the game designers will just tell you exactly what's going on.
Fantastic. If you where is your Discord? What would be the best way to find your Discord channel? Would it be going on to the website and then from there, or
if you go onto the website, go straight down to the bottom, all the channels are listed.
Okay. And then Terry McIver says, I've always been fascinated with how characters are scored on abilities. How did you do that? How did you go about that? And lots of hours of Doctor Who watching and note taking, or
we go to the pub, drink 10 pints of lager, and go, what do you reckon on that one?
And then the fight starts.
Yeah, then the fight starts. No, I mean, actually, it's the game designers spend so much time on making this as real as it should be, and but a lot of it's also through the early fans coming on board and getting information off them, and it's about the community as much as anything. So it's a bit of both.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Now I have one question, and it's, as this game keeps going, as we keep getting new Doctor Who episodes, do you feel like that you've basically created a game that can be kinetic and grow as characters are made, as they're developed into the show?
Yeah, I mean, we just launched the Revolution of the Daleks pack. That only came out on telly 2 weeks ago.
Right.
We literally did not have the images to go in those cards until a week before. We had no idea. We weren't allowed to have them. So we had to get our artists to quickly draw something from that.
Paint me this.
Yeah. So we tried to, we are, even though we're a partner of the BBC, we are kept in the secret on half of this stuff right until the last time. I mean, the NDAs and stuff, we literally do not know until we're given the information. We try to work with them on with longer roadmaps as we can, and they are helping us with making the game more fun, and what else can we do with the packs, and how can we make the boards better. But in terms of getting images for the next series, we won't know those until nearer the time, if not when the series is out. Right?
Now I have a question. I wish I asked this during the show. Is there anybody from Doctor Who Prime, meaning that has anybody seen it from Doctor Who, as far as any of the actors, any of the Nick Briggs or any of those people have seen your game as of yet, or know about it? And what do they
all know about it. Yeah, everyone knows about it because they would have been contacted to get their image in the cards.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Now, whether that's through their talent or through their managers or through the BBC, but they would have all been contacted, yeah.
But has anybody mentioned or said anything, or they are aware? But
they are aware, yeah. Not that I know of.
Okay, that's fine.
But they are definitely aware.
Who's your doctor? Who's your doctor, Terry? Who's your doctor?
All of them.
I think that's a proper answer with everybody that's in the chat right now.
Usually the first doctor. It's who's your doctor. Or as some people, it's either the doctor who brought you into the series, or as like I'm one of those people where it's like I've now delineated so that way I could pick two and say, okay, who's your classic doctor and who's your new Who doctor. That way you can have best of both worlds. Although there will be a fight right now in the YouTube chat.
Absolutely.
It's already started.
See, and here it is. Say me. 11 said.
Everybody thinks 11 is my new doctor, and they're like, because of Right of Wand, so they always think that I'm like, actually no.
Well, as I mentioned before, I go all the way back to, I remember John Pertwee and Tom Baker to me was one I remember as a kid with the scarf. So if I'm going back to who I really remember as a doctor, it would be the older ones. But David Tennant and the later ones I love as well. So God, it's too difficult, really.
I have a question, or at least I'm going to get it wrong. I apologize. Quibbo, please explain the time element in the game. It seems you will time travel in the game with the ability to use your opponent cards. I guess that's a question. There we go. Thank you.
I know what he's talking about, but
yeah, I'm going to pass that on to the game designers to answer that question on Discord.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to give away something that I shouldn't. That's the
only
no, smart idea.
Yeah,
spoilers.
In general, it's right on the website. Some of it, like the future is your deck.
Right.
The present is represented by what's in play.
Yeah.
The past is the discard pile. And I think what he means there is, and again, this is on the website, so I can say this, is that it's not a unique to you discard pile.
Right.
And then the Tardis is your hand.
That's right. Yeah.
Is kind of how that breaks down, at least publicly so far.
Yes. That's all I'm just going to nod. I can't say too much in case I ruin the ending.
Don't say too much. I don't know anything more than what I've read publicly, so I can't do anything. So one thing, and Mackenzie and I have had this conversation. So it's the beta's running on PCs. It's coming to mobile. What about us Mac users? It doesn't seem to work very well for us.
Yeah. So
that's my problem.
Yeah, we have the rights from the BBC to make this on PC and mobile. Okay, so PC will be first, Mac will be next, and then mobile, probably Android and iPhone, just because that's the difficulty in building games, and that's how the roadmap works. At what time PC and Mac, the difference between that, I'm not too sure, but ideally it'll be together, but I'm not too sure right now. So PC will be first, mobile will be a year later.
Gotcha. I see a comment in here. Dr. Jedi 5 says, I love the idea of this game. Best of luck to the Worlds Apart team. I'll watch your game's development with great interest. I think we all will.
Oh, yeah.
This is awesome.
Absolutely.
I wonder, you know what? I wonder.
Now. One thing I would love to do in the future is when this actually goes live, is actually do like a Twitch stream and actually have everybody us playing this with us, so we can not only demonstrate it but actually show this is how you play it. Here we're playing it. And we've got people from the actual game developers are here too.
100%, absolutely, we will do that. Yeah, for sure.
So we're going to have a night where we're going to play this game?
Yeah.
I have no strategy. I'm a button masher, so when it comes to this,
there will be no button mashing on this one.
I always randomly throw cards out there. Here you go. Like that. Why did you play that?
That actually just leads me to a question here with the board. When you were showing us the Dalek board and showing the kind of the beginnings of how the cards were all interacting. Is it going to be, and this might be hard to describe without actually seeing Eye of Judgment, will the characters on the cards actually kind of come to life in 3D so you see them literally fighting each other?
Not for launch, but that's the vision, is they all become interactive. Yeah.
Awesome. That's what I loved about Eye of Judgment. That was my favorite thing of the game, is they actually felt like they were actually more than just a card.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the great thing about digital cards, right? So,
yes.
And the board itself, does that connect to the planet cards? Like, is there going to be a board for every planet card in the game? Because that's another set of the rules in there. Is that changing things?
Yes, that's that again, that's in the roadmap. For launch, I'm not sure how many boards will be there for launch, but there'll definitely be a choice. There's actually a much bigger vision of you buying land around the boards where you can show off your cards, but that's a whole different subject. That's really going to be cool.
That's neat. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Camilla says, "Show us more packs." Those are just hypnotic. Those packs. I'm just looking at the packs and just like, ooh, I just go for the packs. I just want to see the rotating thing in the animation.
I mean, you talk about people. Let's play this. When the game comes out, people on YouTube are opening the packs live because that's exciting. And if they get a good, it's like, oh my god, I've got this great pack. Yeah, so it is good fun.
So people are doing what they call them, box opening packages.
Last night I went on Twitch because I do a lot of I'm a Twitch streamer, but I also watch a lot of streamers, and I actually put in Doctor Who's World Apart last night to see if I could find anybody, and there was somebody in Brazil that was opening up packs. Yeah. I'm like, well, I'm not going to be able to understand most of what they're talking about, and then I realized, oh, he's actually speaking a form of Spanish I can understand here, so I just watched the stream and watched him open the packs.
Oh, it's great. It's brilliant. Yeah, in fact, we got a really great community. I think what we need to do as a company and as a games business is educate people what a tokenized item is and why you're buying these before the game comes out. And I think if there is negativity, it's people that haven't come across tokenized in-game items before and kind of go, why am I buying cards before the game comes out? Like that's a bit odd. I've never
exactly.
And it makes sense if you've ever done any type of online gaming and you've done, you've bought extra weapons, you've done all the extra armor things, you've bought those kind of things, but you don't have them it's not something you can still have. It's just neat that you're bringing that over, but I could see where it's easy for me to make that analogy and go, oh, okay, now I understand.
Yes.
I need that analogy. Many people might not have that analogy.
No, and they won't if they haven't if they haven't listened to this, for instance. It's very hard when people go to a website and go, you're selling packs, but there's no game. What? How? What? Why? And people go, well, why are you selling them? And it's just doesn't make sense. Actually, the reason being is it's a positive. You're getting something which no one else might have. Right? You're going to have something which once these run out, you've got something that is of value, is a collector's item. You own a bit of this right now, and that's what we're trying to teach people. This is a new style of gaming, and it's not just Worlds Apart that's doing this. There are other games coming out that's all about building up the products before the actual game arrives and making these different items collectibles.
I just have a question from CityCap, citycap.com. To remember, CKOEPP.com if you want to check out her books out there. But there might be certain people who have epilepsy or concerns. Is there any way to disable any flashing effects or something like that? That's what her concern is. So she can play. Just something to look into. That might be.
We'll look into that. In fact, I'm going to make a note.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Just to find out if there's a way to disable any type of the visual effects for adding a little extra demographic for your base that you can go to.
Yeah.
Exactly
there.
Great question.
Great question.
Does the dog have to come? Can he stay home for once?
They're just going, and I'm just posting it on there.
I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Second show is
Well, we'll stop talking. We'll just keep posting their stuff out over there. Melanie, I'm just going to post this because I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle. But sorry, hang on. Let me grab
you go ahead.
Sorry.
Right, that was me. I something.
If you would care to, I can't even spell the word join. Good job, Christian. Facebook.com, Rising Tide Publications at 8:00, which is just about, if you're online right now, about 45 minutes away. I will be with Brian K. Morris. He's going to be talking to me about the Legend of the Traveling Tardis. So, doctors, if you want to follow me over there to the Legend of the Traveling, I'm sure that's going to drive Brian crazy, and we should do that. I'll definitely
drive Brian right there.
If you know anything about Brian, the way he handles the chats, Melanie Tony's very skillful.
Yes.
Brian goes like, well, we're about 30 minutes behind on the chats. I'm like, oh. So if you've ever seen Brian's show, if you want to give him a challenge, that would be an interesting challenge out there. We're not laughing at you guys. We love you guys.
Yeah, we love you.
I'm with you.
Gotcha there. So I'm going to go ahead and bail, folks. So again, please, stay on, stay safe. Tony,
if you would like to go to sleep, you can.
I'm
log off as well.
Yeah. I'm going to love you and leave you. I've got a game to make in the morning.
Yes.
You got it.
Yes.
Yes.
Make content so we can purchase it.
And I do want to say, I just want to say thank you, Tony, as well. Christian had let me mention this in the after party. You were generous enough up here. We've got a fundraiser that's normally a physical raffle for Canadian Blood Services. And you were generous enough to donate some packs to that raffle that's happening at the end of the month. So thank you very much for that. Anyone who wants to have a chance to win some of these cards, including some of those super expensive Tardis cards, just search up Board Game, one word, Bash of Blood 2021 on Facebook. That's got the event, and they're slowly building. It's going to be an online raffle at the end of the month. All the details are just sort of coming through as they promote other games that are coming through. So check that out. And again, thank you so much for that. And thanks for joining us today, Tony. Like, it's great to learn this.
Absolutely.
Something special.
As soon as this game came out, I was like, I whispered to Christian, I'm like, we have got to get them on here. We got to find more about this.
It's like, oh, wait a minute. I want to talk about a game. Okay, Dave's got to get in here. Because I know nothing.
I want to come back when the next level's done.
Yes, please.
Just let us know you're on here.
If we can pull it off, I would love to see if we could play a game on here just to see what it would look like.
Oh, it can be possible. It definitely can be.
All right, well, Tony, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to send you an email with more information later on, and we'll talk about how to
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Thank you.
Good night, and everybody. Good night. Please stay safe. I'll see you over at the Rising Tide, or I'll see you next week. We're gonna. What?
No, go ahead. So I'm saying just don't end the broadcast yet because I want the doctors to see.
No. I'm going to leave the studio. I did that once. I'll never do it again.
Go away.
Hey, ow.
Oh,
there.
It worked. Okay.
Yes. And when the cat's away, the rats can play.
have a word in edgewise. Hold on. I wanted to show Mackenzie something because there was no way I could click so that she could see what the doctors were saying. Oh, good Lord, you guys have really filled this comment section. No. I can't see it. So no. Darn it, I can't load it anymore. But yeah, basically it was
I saw the 11 going, what?
I was trying to show that, like, wait, is that? No, wait, what? Yeah, so.
There we go. I was like, yeah.
Okay, and yes.
That's a question I get asked a lot. They're like, well, does Matt know about it? Well, yeah.
Yeah, so yes, if you had seen, because the comments, it's not letting me pull the old comments anymore because there's so many of them. Darn, all the problems I could possibly have. But yes, they were playing off the fact that you had that Mirta sounds uncannily like Matt Smith, or the 11th Doctor over there in our chat room, and it was just, wait, what is that? No, and I'm just trying to kind of pop it up to kind of let Mackenzie see it. So when you go back to the show, Mackenzie, you can at least kind of see it in real time of that kind of fun. And also, I was trying to get a lot of the chat that was happening in the YouTube channel, and I know a lot of people are watching us on from Wizard World feed and from the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS on the Facebook feed. So I promise everyone, I was trying my best to at least show, to make sure everybody could get in on the comedy that was happening in the YouTube chat room.
Since I get asked the question a lot. No, that actually wasn't Matt that does the voice, but it's actually a person from Big Finish Productions. His name is Chris Walker Thompson. He does the audiobooks for the Writer Wands, and I did purposely hire him because I wanted somebody who could do Matt Smith's voice. because of the authenticity of that. With Right of Wands, we're actually trying, or I should say, I am currently trying to make it a screenplay, and it is with the producer currently. I don't know where things stand but Matt is my lead, so that is my intention. I don't know if it actually will come to fruition, but you never know.
Yay!
So yes, thank you very much for not us just having, you saying thank you for having us. No, thank you for being on, because that was just a little delightful little extra bit as we were watching the card game as we're going along. So that was
very entertaining. Very, very entertaining. Oh yeah, and I don't know if 13 is still here. If 13 is still here, I got 13 also.
13's still there.
Oh yes.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just kind of now. This is literally after party. I'm just kind of
I do want to say I love Carl's comment 507, but I'm buying that painting of 13 when we can travel again. So don't get used to seeing it there.
That was one thing I didn't want to put these up, because it's just if I started putting these up, my little happy heart was singing, but I didn't want to put it up and look so self-serving.
Hey, you have the right to self-promote. You were doing self-promotion for me. You have the right to.
This person, but I'm
you mean those paintings behind you, Melanie, are by you, and they are theoretically for sale?
What? No.
Yeah.
Or the fact that I can't see it, but that part signed by David. What? I did paintings of you.
Like that's where I have the Binge Watcher Guide. That's one of the things that I do. Is Binge Watcher Guide series. So this is the first of the series. I'm working on the second right now in this series. I will have a book for each doctor. Right now I'm starting with Jody because, well, Jody's my book doctor. Yeah. So I'm working on series 12 right now, and then giving my preview of series 13. Mm-hmm. I can say I have a very exciting lineup for that book. So I've got right now I've got 2 people from the Titans comics that are joined in. I'm working on one of the screenwriters from Doctor Who to join in possibly as well. I've got also the person that runs Doctor Who Lockdown will be in the book as well. So there's lots of things coming up.
Heck yes, because you have so much stuff that you're working on for your next binge watchers.
Oh my god!
This whole stuff that we've been chatting about. So on top of it,
I'd be like, "Look who I got! Look who I got!" Because I'm just like, "Hey, I can't talk about it and stuff." But like, "Hey, look who I got! Look who I got!"
Okay, I'm going to be self-serving now. Okay, so 7, yeah, you were done, but you were done as Radagast the Brown.
Yeah, and I think I need to get
There's another one of Tenet that I had to do
because this all my stuff is on the other side of the wall. That's a problem because this is you can't really see anything behind me.
I basically grabbed some box tops.
This is the biggest one you can see on my wall behind me.
There's actually 2 Tenet.
The next thing I get to review.
Okay, stop saying that.
Ooh,
they've got.
What are you doing?
Oh, cool.
That's better.
New set of rules and stuff. I'd mentioned this when we had our other game on conversation before Christmas. This is the set that I was talking about. This is the expansion for the really big darn game.
Oh,
cool. So I'm really looking forward to digging into this.
Put it back up on the screen so people can see.
Yes.
Now that you're nice and pan down. There we go. Oh, I gotta take that off.
Yeah, Jody's in the way.
I know. I'm trying to remove that comment, but I don't know where it is.
There we go.
But she does look good on the wall, though, too.
There we go.
Just saying.
So yeah, this is Time of the Daleks board game, Gale Force 9, and so these have miniatures of these different companions that'll do different things. I haven't had a chance to play it yet because, as I said, these showed up in the middle of you can't have anybody anywhere locked down here in Alberta. But this is the main game.
Oh, sorry, bad producer.
The main box, and if you go back in the feed wherever you're watching this and find the episode called Game On from the end mid-November. No, was it November that I did this? Was it already in November? Oh, November, December, before Christmas.
I think it was.
But wait,
yeah.
and we talked. This was one of the games that we featured on that. Melanie and you guys were there.
Mm-hmm.
You were both there. It was
we were both.
Yeah, so it's a fun game. I'm really looking forward to digging into these. Yeah. It's rough right now. It's so rough right now because I mean, you guys can paint and you can write, and I can write, but I can't write the things.
Well, exactly. That's the problem. Is for artists. When you say you're bleeding on a plate, I mean, literally right now, that's how it is. Everything I make is generated for cons. So
I'm more commissioning. So like Mackenzie, I mean, a lot of our stuff is more, it's driven from the cons because Mackenzie can engage her readers at the con. If it's people who kind of look at her cover and you're like, well, you know, I'm kind of into wanting to know more about your world, more about the stories, she can go ahead and engage in, and you're just speaking to the damn author. I mean, she can world build the pitch. Oh my God, amazing. But like for me, it's like I do a lot of commission work, and that's why I was like, when I kind of turned and started looking, I couldn't see it because all my prints are not in here. There's the gigantic brick of a printer that's just kind of hanging out right now. Ugh. But like the comment in here with to the 10th Doctor of look, it's Rose. Rose loves me. I did a commission that both Billy and David did signed because that's what the person wanted at Tampa Bay Comic Con years ago when they both were here. And the prints aren't in this room; they're in the other room. And it's basically, sorry guys, it's the Doctor and Rose with the wall in between them. So he's in cold gray, she's in warm gray, and their hands are on the wall, and it's just sad. And I made prints of them, but I made them 2 separate prints so that way they're on separate frames. Very horrible, you big. But anyway, I couldn't find it anyway.
Yeah, and that's the thing I love about the conventions is that you have the Doctor Who fans who come and then they actually will start talking about their favorite Doctor or what it is. I actually had 3 people when they approached me, and this was the only con that I did last year. They saw this book, they're like, you know what? I never watched Doctor Who, and is Jodie the one to start with? And so since then, I've actually heard from a couple of them that they actually started watching the show because they bought the book. Because this book is not just like a lot of people think that with Binge Watcher Guide, it's literally me just talking about each episode, what I thought. No, there's a lot more to it. I actually go into the history of the show. I go into how each of the actors got hired, some of the controversies that were going on there, some of the controversies that are going on in Series 13. I'll be talking all about that. And that was one thing that the publisher loved. She's like, Mackenzie, I can't believe that you have the gall to write about these controversies. Like, hey, you know, I don't have anything to hide.
Yeah, exactly.
I will admit that that's one cool thing about this game, why when Dave was telling me about, you know, hey, we're going to be doing an episode about this game. And at first I'm like, wait, it's a card game. Yeah, but it's online. I'm like, how? Because my brain has been so wrapped up in the COVID world where I can't go down to the local comic shop here when they do game nights, where it's usually people who are like have board games and like they just can't find other people to play. And it's like, okay, well, I'll bring my game here and then find a group, and then you can start playing. You learn more about different games and stuff. Can't really do that right now in this COVID world. But here's a new game coming out. It's Doctor Who, which is always the way you can. There's a license that you just go, okay, I'm going to grab me, and we could play it. We can have fun with it. And so one thing that you'll definitely see more of, since Mr. Papa Razzo over here has so many games. One thing you guys want to do is definitely start sticking around, because we're the 3 of us definitely are kind of in development of trying to play more games and show off more games and do more of a gameplay, at least for the Doctor Who thing. Not sure if Christian would even.
Depends on what we end up doing, I think.
I don't know. I think he's got a lot on his plate as it is with the show, but we're definitely going to start trying to play more of these games. And personally, the Worlds Apart one is absolutely in the wheelhouse because everyone can have their packs. Everything's online. This is absolutely amazing.
It was the thing that Eye of Judgment needed, and that's where it failed. I mean, and when he was talking about that Eye of Judgment, for those who are not familiar with it, think of Magic, but in a 3D world. And it had a board where you'd put the cards down and had a PlayStation Eye. So you would scan the card. It then would become 3D on your PlayStation, and they would literally fight each other. You could play it either single player or you could play it online. Problem was, I got 3 packs, game died. Without that, and there was nobody who was on. So it was like I invested so much into the game and it became useless. And people were just trading in. You couldn't trade in the packs, obviously, because they were physical, but people were trading in the game or the PlayStation Eye, and it died so much that it just made me so very sad because it was a potential.
How tight is our hour and a half?
We're about right now.
How
I was
tight
just
is
about to wrap it up. Unfortunately, we're going to have to stop our little after show party because we are now at time. So I want to just thank Tony. What was his? Oh my God. What was his last name? My brain's
Tony.
Let me find my emails because it's late and I'm. Oh God, help me. Okay, well, I would like to thank Tony for coming on here from Doctor Who Worlds Apart because that was an absolutely
Tony Pierce.
Tony Pierce, thank you. My God, because I'm so used to saying Tony. Did you email Tony? Have you seen the message from Tony? Did you bring up the link from Tony? So that was absolutely incredible that he was able to come on and show you guys the new game that's going to be coming out. Remember, about 2 months, maybe we'll bring him back and we can start seeing a little bit more, especially the spoilery stuff you couldn't really discuss before. Mackenzie Floor, Right of Wands author. Please make sure you check her out at Mackenzie Floor, MackenzieFloor.com, and all of her other kind of socials. I'm going to pop this out and you can probably see everybody's. You can't see everything. Anyway, Dave Chapman from therathole.ca, because he's Canadian. There, you can find him there, and you can also go from there and find out his link tree and all that kind of fun stuff. He'll put the chats in below. And my name is Melanie Dane. You could check me out at Pieces of Melee, the fighting style, because again, button masher. Piecesofmelee.com, anywhere you can buy prints, buy all that kind of fun stuff, and my Etsy shop. Hee hee. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. And thank you, doctors. You guys were amazing. So,
and thank you everyone who was the doctor as well.
Yes, and thank you everybody else who wasn't doctors.
Yeah, we love you all too.
Let's see, where is that thing that Christian usually clicks on? I guess this works.
Peace.